The airport is a psychological minefield designed to separate you from your money and your dignity. Your blood can literally turn into life-threatening clots after just 4 hours in a cramped economy seat. Boom. The airlines aren't your friends, and they frequently hide the fact that federal regulations could entitle you to up to $1,550 in cold, hard cash if they mess up your schedule. Boom. Even your choice of a cozy hoodie can trigger an invasive and humiliating pat-down. The system is built on your lack of knowledge, and corporate offices bank on the fact that you won't speak up. Here are the 9 rules you need to survive this chaotic environment with your health and your wallet intact. This is Rule 1 of 9. Statistics often suggest that a significant portion of secondary security screenings aren't random at all. They are triggered by what you choose to wear. Meet Ava, a 28-year-old nurse from Boston. She arrived at Logan International Airport, also known as BOS, wearing an oversized, thick hoodie and baggy sweatpants for her red-eye flight to London. She prioritized comfort above all else, but the TSA agent at the line had a different perspective. The scanner used in most U.S. airports maps the gap between your skin and your clothes. To the machine, those heavy folds of fabric look like hidden objects. Ava was flagged immediately. While other passengers breezed through, she spent 15 minutes in a glass booth, followed by a detailed physical search. The system isn't necessarily broken, but it is sensitive. To avoid this, wear form-fitting layers through the checkpoint and carry your heavy jacket. Ava learned the hard way that a 5-second choice in the bedroom can lead to a long delay at the gate. You just saved yourself a headache, but that is nothing compared to the $600 you might lose when the next rule regarding your hardware hits you. Moving on, Rule 2 of 9 is all about the cargo pant conflict. Think twice before you load up on pockets at Tampa International Airport, or TPA. Joseph, a 29-year-old software developer, thought his multi-pocket tactical pants were the ultimate travel hack. He stuffed his keys, phone, charger, and wallet into different compartments to save space in his carry-on. But when he hit the metal detector, the screaming began. Every heavy zipper, metal stud, and hidden button on those pants triggered a total system reset. Joseph stood there fumbling through 10 different pockets while 50 angry travelers glared at the back of his head. Each metal detail is a potential 30-second delay. Airlines won't warn you, but they expect you to be the one who slows down the flow. The fix is simple. Wear joggers or leggings with 0 metal components. Put your heavy leather belt and your pocket items into your bag before you even enter the line. Joseph eventually made it through, but the stress was unnecessary. However, your clothes aren't just a TSA issue. Wait until you see how a simple hat can turn into a boarding pass rejection. Here is Rule 3 of 9. Aria, a 24-year-old graphic designer, stood in a winding line at Paris Charles de Gaulle, or CDG, adjusting her wide-brimmed felt hat as the clock ticked toward 2 p.m. She looked like a fashion icon, but the gate agent saw her differently. That stylish hat was so large it wouldn't fit under a seat, and the overhead bins were already reaching capacity. The agent looked at her and stated that the hat would count as her second personal item. Aria froze because she already had a backpack and a rolling suitcase. The airline is banking on your ignorance of the fine print. If it doesn't fit the dimensions, it is a bag, period. Aria had to choose between trashing the hat or paying an $85 gate check fee. The solution? Use a magnetic hat clip that attaches to your luggage handle. It keeps your fashion intact without costing you a $50 penalty. Aria's mistake cost her money, but that is nothing compared to the $1,200 you lose when the airline decides your shirt is a legal liability. Rule 4 of 9 involves the hidden power of the contract of carriage. A single graphic tee could actually cost you the price of a full international ticket. Carter, a 35-year-old history teacher, discovered this at San Francisco International, or SFO. He wore a shirt with a sarcastic political joke that a crew member found offensive. Most passengers don't realize that when you buy a ticket, you agree to a massive legal document that gives the airline the right to remove you for provocative clothing. Carter was given an ultimatum: change the shirt or stay in California. Since he didn't have a spare in his bag, he had to pay $55 for a tourist sweatshirt at the airport gift shop just to get on the plane. The system is rigged toward the airline's discretion. Always pack a plain, neutral shirt in your personal item. It is a tiny move that prevents a massive legal headache. Carter made his flight, but his pride and his wallet were bruised. You saved your seat today, but your health is the next target in the struggle of economy survival. Let's look at Rule 5 of 9. Gate agents are essentially the high-stakes bouncers of a private club. Elijah, a 39-year-old marketing manager, found this out at London Heathrow, or LHR, at 10:15 a.m. He was heading to a tropical destination and wore a relaxed tank top for the long haul. The agent stopped him before he could scan his pass. "You can't board looking like that," the agent said, citing decency rules that are intentionally vague. Elijah didn't have a jacket, and he watched his flight pull away from gate B20 because he lacked a $2 undershirt. Airlines use these decency rules to maintain a specific image, and they profit when you have to rebook a last-minute flight. If an agent flags you, do not argue. Just cover up. Dressing for the destination is great, but dressing for the gate agent is what actually gets you on the plane. You saved your seat by dressing right, but the physical reality of that seat is actually designed to damage your body. This brings us to the most expensive mistake you can make regarding your own blood. Rule 6 of 9 is the rule the airlines fear the most. Demand your cash immediately. When Penelope, a 41-year-old civil engineer, arrived at Gate B2 in Pittsburgh, or PIT, the agent looked at her with a shrug. The flight was oversold. Penelope was bumped involuntarily. The airline tried to hand her a $20 meal voucher and a seat on a flight leaving 10 hours later. Most travelers just sigh and accept the sandwich. Don't be that person. They hope you don't know the Department of Transportation rules. If you are bumped against your will and the delay is significant, you aren't just entitled to a voucher, you are eligible for denied boarding compensation. Under federal law, if the delay is over 2 hours for a domestic flight, you can receive 400% of your one-way fare, up to $1,550. Ask for the check, not the voucher. Penelope did exactly that and walked away with $1,200 in her pocket. It pays to speak up. But money won't save your legs when the medical reality of long-distance flying sets in. That leads us to Rule 7 of 9, which is a matter of life and death. Sophia, a 47-year-old accountant from Atlanta, sat at gate T12 in ATL before her 4,000-mile flight to Munich. While others were checking their social media, Sophia was focused on her circulation. Sitting for over 4 hours in a pressurized cabin is a legitimate health risk. Deep vein thrombosis, or DVT, occurs when blood pools in your lower legs due to inactivity and low cabin pressure. The airline won't warn you about the slight swelling until you've already landed and the damage is done. Sophia didn't take that risk. She wore medical-grade compression socks to keep her blood flowing toward her heart. Experts agree that these simple garments can reduce the risk of clots significantly on long-haul flights. Sophia also set a silent vibration alarm on her watch to remind her to stretch and walk the aisle every 60 minutes. She stayed hydrated and avoided the temptation to cross her legs. She landed feeling refreshed, not fatigued. Health isn't a luxury, it is a requirement. But your safety is nothing compared to the social war happening over the armrests. Rule 8 of 9 settles the most common conflict in the sky. Who actually owns the 2 middle armrests? It is an unstated 5-hour silent war, and most people lose it before the wheels even leave the runway. Hazel, a 31-year-old photographer, found herself on a packed flight out of Nashville, or BNA. She was squeezed into seat 14B, pinned between a window passenger who was already asleep and an aisle passenger who was stretching into the walkway. Both neighbors claimed the middle armrests immediately. Hazel was physically crushed. They are banking on your politeness, but there is an unwritten code of the skies that you need to enforce. Frequent flyers and travel experts generally agree. The middle passenger gets both armrests. It is the only consolation prize for having no window to lean on and no aisle for legroom. If you are in the middle, claim that space the moment you sit down. It isn't rude. It is the established etiquette that keeps the peace. Middle seat equals double the rest. You just won the armrest battle, but that is nothing compared to the shock waiting for you in the final strategy. Finally, Rule 9 of 9 explores the dangerous world of hidden city ticketing. A single ticket could save you $400 or get you blacklisted from an airline for life. Benjamin, a 53-year-old real estate agent, faced this choice at Denver International, or DEN. He needed to reach New York City, but the direct flight was $600. He found a different flight to Orlando with a layover in NYC for only $200. His plan was to simply walk out of the airport at JFK and skip the final leg. Stop. The airline won't tell you this, but skipping a segment of your journey is a direct violation of the contract you signed when you bought the ticket. If Benjamin missed that second flight, the airline would likely cancel his entire return trip and potentially wipe out his frequent flyer miles. Additionally, he couldn't check any bags because they would be sent straight to Florida. It is a high-stakes gamble against a system that is rigged to track your every move. If you don't know these hidden clauses, the airport will find a way to take your money every single time. Now that you have the secrets to beating the system, make sure you don't lose them. The airlines hate that you know these rules, so hit subscribe right now to keep winning the travel game.